guys, welcome back to this week's vlog. I'm heading out to the barn right now. It's really hot. As you can tell, I'm already sweating. I took my dogs for a walk early this morning and I got hot. I think I'm a little bit insane for going to the barn right now. We're in the middle of a heat wave here in California. Yesterday I rode at like 8:30 in the morning and we were dying by the time I got off, and I didn't even do that much. We just did a trail ride and a little bit of like collected work in the dressage arena. So today I'm heading out. I'm hoping that we can get some more work done in the dressage arena, working on some of the stuff that we did in our lesson on Thursday. And then I think I'm gonna give Happy a bath as long as the wash rack is not totally like taken up. Yesterday, everybody was out giving baths, so it might not be a bath day, but I would like it to be because he's almost like orange from being so dirty. So heading out now, and I will catch up with you guys when I get to the barn. Okay, so I got here and there is like debris everywhere. It's like a huge storm came through here yesterday. And it's kind of wild because like I didn't think that would happen considering how hot it was where I live, which is only like 20 minutes north of here. So anyways, big storm, and I go to clean Happy's buckets as I usually do when I first get here. Clean all the water buckets and fill them. Dump both water buckets and realize the auto water is not filling, and then realize that the water's off. And text the barn manager. She says that she didn't realize the water was off. Was thinking it was just routine, like they turn off the water sometimes and turn it back on after a little bit for whatever reason. No, the water's just off. So now Happy has no water. And I cleaned his stall because there were so many sticks and leaves and stuff in there, but I'm just sitting here waiting to figure out what I do because I'm definitely not gonna ride if he has no water. So going on. Hi, buddy. Doesn't want to come over here at all. Cleaned up all of the poop and debris and everything. Still a little bit in here, but not too bad. Now I just have to decide what I want to do. My hand was in the way. Oh, good. Perfect. Really happy about that. Oh, he said it feels so good. Better? Alright, water is back on. Happy is raring to go. We're gonna go ride now since I think he needs to get out of his stall. But he got some water and I filled his buckets up, so we should be good for after we ride. He is literally gonna be insane. Okay guys, I wanted to pop on here and just mention that I was basically brain fried when I was doing this vlog. It was probably around 91 degrees. I think that's almost like, what, like 30 degrees or more Celsius. It was really humid, so that storm made it like incredibly humid. And it was like I was back in Florida and it was horrible. And when I realized that I had dumped all of his water and there was no knowledge of when the water would be back on, I panicked. So I basically sat for 2 hours in the sun watching lessons while I waited for the water to come back on, because I wasn't going to ride if there was no water, because I wouldn't obviously be able to give him water after we rode, and I wouldn't be able to hose him off and cool him down. And then I wasn't going to leave the barn in case there was no water, and like I was afraid that if I left, the water wouldn't get turned back on until 5 and he'd be without water. So I just got really worried and kind of got stuck in like a holding pattern. So you have to forgive like the disconnectedness of the vlog. So basically I got there, cleaned his stall, dumped his water, and then watched riding lessons for like 2 hours. Then I decided to turn him out so that he could roll, because he just really wanted to get out of his stall, because I think that the bugs were really, really bad. Even with his fly boots on and stuff, he was just going nuts. So I got him out so he could roll, as you saw. And then there was like rumors of the water turning back on, and because it's like a gravity fed like well, the water had to pump up, I guess. I don't know the technology behind it. So some places had water, some places didn't. So once I knew we had water, I filled up his auto waterer, I filled up his very large bucket of water that we all know he has, and then I filled up a bucket for him to drink on the cross ties, because I had already started to saddle him up since I knew that the water was running. At that time though, it was noon, and it was probably obviously the height of however hot it was going to be that day. So we did a lot of trotting, very little canter, and a lot of walking. And I didn't ride for more than probably like 22 minutes. It was a very quick ride, and we tried to make sure that we were walking a lot, and I made sure to cool him out for at least 10 minutes, even though I felt like cooling out was kind of pointless considering that it was hot outside. But I did try to cool him out until he was breathing almost normally, and then from there I went and gave him a really nice hose off. So I just wanted to kind of come in and preface that because I don't think I did a very good job of narrating what was going on, and watching this back I'm a little bit confused. So anyway. Alright guys, so the goal of this ride was to predominantly focus on doing sitting trot and getting Happy to be a little bit slower up front and to sit more on his hind end. So in my lesson this past week, that's what we worked on. We did a lot of like sitting trot to halt, sitting trot to walk, and then back into sitting trot to get him up off of his front end a little bit more, lifting through his crest and neck, and then being a little bit slower up front. So we did this a lot around the arena on the flat, and then to a single fence in this arena, working on getting him to actually sit back on his hind end and jump as opposed to just stepping over jumps, which he does a lot. So that was what I wanted to really work on this week, and that's what I was working on here. My only issue is he kept getting really heavy, and I think that it was a combination of it being really hot. I wasn't really in the best like mental state because I was so hot and tired, and so I don't think I was riding as loosely as I could have been. And then I also think that having that storm overnight with like 75-mile-per-hour wind gusts and the lightning and everything, I think he just did not get good rest. So it wasn't the best ride we could have, but it was a quick ride, and I wanted to get him out because obviously since there's really no large turnout areas, there's nowhere for him to really go and blow off some mental steam. So I wanted to make sure I got him out, and we worked on a few things, and I think it went pretty well. Also, if you notice, I'm wearing spurs now to ride. I didn't wear them until I took my lesson this Thursday and learned how to use them a little bit better than how I had used them in the past. Happy next to that pony is so funny. He's so big. But I think they're working really well to give us better communication on lateral work and just kind of in general, like when I want him to move, his body how he should move his body, because I think he gets a little confused sometimes with like just leg means leg and he doesn't really understand the nuances of it. So he's actually really adapted quite well to the spurs, and again, I don't use them unless I need them. I try to keep them as far off his body as I can. I've been trying to really put my toes in so that I'm not actually kicking him with my spurs, but he's doing really well, and I was really happy with this ride, even though I was really tired and hot and he was tired and hot, and it was just a heavy ride, but we did the best that we could do for the ride that we had. I just need to text Miriam something really fast. I think Happy is adjusting really well to having his pull up more and lifting more through his neck and chest. I actually feel like it feels better to him and makes more sense than the stretch. I do think he liked to stretch, and I think that learning how to do that was a very useful tool, but I've noticed in my last couple weeks of writing that I feel like I don't have as many miscommunications with him, and I don't feel like he ends the ride, both of us feeling like confused and not understanding what was being asked of each other. And I did not feel like he was lifting very much today at all when I was riding him, but looking back at the canter, I was actually kind of shocked to see that he was actually lifting through his shoulders and like lower base of his neck, and it was quite surprising to see. So I think in the next set of clips I'll canter both ways, and you'll be able to see how much lift we're getting now, which I feel like is quite a lot considering how we had like no lift before. So looking forward to our next lesson, but I'm also just looking forward to building more strength for him. One thing that was mentioned in my lesson is that I'm very good at getting him round, but I need to work more on getting him to a place where he is above with his pole and I'm not as busy with my hands. So that's something that I've always been told, and I've always been busy with my hands. Just I think it's just an anxious thing. So it's something that I'm definitely trying to be very conscious of and to not do as much, but it's definitely something I'm aware of, and I'm trying to just use my outside rein as a steady wall for him and my inside rein as correction if he needs it. Here, I'm trying to work more on getting into an actual 2-point and having him understand that he has to keep cantering if I'm 2-pointing, so that's definitely a work in progress for both of us, and I'm not sure if on this day when it was so hot and humid, if it was a good idea for me to try to do that, but, you know, we did the best we could with that. I was very tired, so I was like, I can't stay in 2-point for very long, but I'll keep working on it. And I think on another day when I'm not exhausted from being in the heat, I will probably have a better time doing it. So we'll canter to the left after this, and then that was our ride, a very short ride, just something quick to get him moving and to get me, practicing what we're working on in our lessons. And yeah, it went well. Like I said, it was okay. It wasn't a great ride, but it wasn't a bad ride. Alright guys, I'm done. It is way too hot out here. He's super heavy today, I think, just from the heat and the storm last night and not focusing very well, but he did good. And it's just too dang hot. It's probably like 100 and something degrees. So, well, maybe not quite that hot because I would be riding, but it's definitely hot. So I think I'm gonna leave it there, maybe circle back at the very end of our vlog once I've hosed him down and everything. But thank you guys for watching this very short and weird vlog because of the water and the heat. Okay, let me just show you guys. So someone raked up the debris here. I cleaned Happy's out and I already took everything out. Like all of this sticks and bark from the eucalyptus. It's a lot. So apparently it rained like literally nowhere else, but they were saying, the people who stay on property, that it was like 75-mile-per-hour winds. There was lightning that struck trees out where we trail ride, which is like right over there, those big trees. And there was a lot of rain. So I don't blame him for not really being on it today, just because it's hot, humid, and that night I'm sure he didn't get a lot of rest. But he went out and he tried. And I tried not to get frustrated, and I'm super tired. So anyways, just wanted to show you guys the debris really. Happy. Ooh. Got a very wet, sloppy bucket too. Huh? Oops, don't get too close to his dinner or his lunch, please. So nasty. But good for you. Alright, and treat ball and stall is clean.